special presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Welcome to Birthday Week, where we throw our format out the window and have days and days and days, or like 4 days, of fun one-off type replays of games from my library of teams that I love, that I grew up with, that I almost care. No, I do care about. So today, our special is from 1986. You would see the Red Sox if it was a birthday week, wouldn't you? Yeah, sure we will. From Fenway Park in Boston. It'll be the 1986 Boston Red Sox and California Angels. No, it's not an ALCS game. Nope. Computers even pick the lineups. I'm just going to play it and stream it and chat with you. Tomorrow we tape our Black Friday Digital Light special. Dave and I go through all the sales and stuff like that. And then tomorrow night we'll have another game, probably baseball again, of two teams of my choosing. Last year I did the two teams I hated versus two teams I loved. We'll probably do another two. We won't go with the hate this year. We do too much hate as it is. So it'll be another baseball game for you tomorrow night. And then Thanksgiving night. Oh, by the way, game time tomorrow night will be 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Thanksgiving night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We will replay one of the classic games ever to be played on Thanksgiving Day. It will be the 1993 matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Dallas Cowboys from the slush and crap, or bad weather, I should say, of Texas Stadium in Irving. Leon Lett, no! So let's see if Pete Stoyanovich can do that again. So that's what we got tentatively scheduled this week. The replays will be back next week. But it's the Red Sox and Angels from 86 today. Another baseball surprise tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. And then Thanksgiving night, it'll be the 1993 Thanksgiving Day Spectacular. And as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. Between the 1993 Miami Dolphins and Dallas Cowboys. Troy Aikman versus... was Marino? I think Marino was back. So that's what we got for you, tentatively scheduled this week on Retro Sports Network. And with that, I say hello to nobody in the chat. We have the Angels and the Red Sox for you from Fenway Park in Boston. In a lineup that Roger Clemens will face starts like this. Gary Pettis is in center field. He will lead it off. Dick Schofield is at short. He'll bat second. Wally Joyner at first will bat third. Brian Downing will clean up in left field. Reggie Jackson is in the DH. He'll bat fifth. Rupert Jones is in How You Doing, Mr. Aloha, is in right field. He'll bat sixth. Doug DeCinces at third will bat seventh. Bob Boone behind the plate. Yep, go Sox indeed. Bob Boone behind the plate will bat eighth, and Rob Wilfong at second will bat ninth. And UVM alumni Kirk McCaskill, it will be on the mound for the California Angels. Not a bad pitcher by any stretch. Defensively for the Red Sox, it'll be Jim Rice in left. Steve Psycho Lyons, a 5 and a 6 in center. Dwight Evans is a 9 in right. I imagine that arm is pretty good. Wade Boggs is a 6 at third. Spike Owen is at short. He's a 7. Marty Barrett, a 5 at second. I think Marty was a greatly underappreciated player in that Red Sox lineup, and certainly was probably the best second baseman of my lifetime until Dustin Pedroia came along. Jerry Remy was just hurt too much. And Bill Buckner is at first. He is a 7 range, which is about 6 points higher than it was in the World Series. Rich Gedman behind the plate. He is a 7 and a 10. And Roger Clemens, an 8 on the mound with a .923 fielding percentage. And this is new. Must have been in the patch I installed. A hold rating of 6. Yes, Barrett was very steady. So Clemens, this was his breakout year. 24-4 with an ERA of 2.48. He threw 254 innings, 179 hits, 21 homers. He walked 67 and struck out 238. Well, Buckner should never have been out there in the 10th inning to begin with. You know that. Clemens, 23 and 86. Through the splitter. Fastball at 94, a fly ball pitcher, a whip of under 1, and the American League hit 195 off of him. He was the Cy Young Award winner and was the American League MVP. That would be the first of 17 gazillion Cys. He would win it in 87 and 91 for the Red Sox, 97 and 98 for the Blue Jays, 2001 for the Yankees, and I think 2004 for the Astros. Yeah, a lot of goats. The late John McNamara being the number one. And so Clemens says, are you talking about things again? Just get in the box. Gary Pettis at 258. 5 homers and 58 RBI. A beautiful night from baseball here in Boston. We're saying it's August 8th. That's my wedding anniversary, by the way. 79 degrees. The wind blowing right to left at 3. Buckner and Boggs play for the bunt. Pitch to Pettis. There's a liner to right field. Evans will pick it up along the wall, and that is a double. It's not how we were supposed to start here. Oh, we get jump ratings now, too. That's cool. No stolen base percentage, I guess. Dick Schofield. Well, that's his daddy right there. 249, 13 homers, and 57 RBI. No, I was 14 in 1986. So, no. I was married in 1998. Mike McGuire hit a home run on my wedding night. It's true. We just celebrated our 22nd in August. So, Clemens delivers, and there's a ground ball to third. Boggs over to first for the out. Rice is 7 and a 5 in left. Evans a 9 and a 10 in right. Here's Wally Joyner when he had hair at 290, 22 homers, and 100 RBI. Rookie of the Year, did not hit lefties very well. My wife didn't even know me in 1986. Pitch from Clemens is into center field. Lyons comes in, makes the catch. Pettis will run back and hold 2 out. For Brian Downing, looking rather shaggy DA there for the Chicago White Sox. Brian at 267, 20 homers, and 95 RBI. Clemens rocks and deals. Struck him out. He got him swinging on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the first. The Angels leave a runner on. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Bottom 1, no score. So Kirk McCaskill, 17 and 10 in 86. The pride and joy of the University of Vermont. He pitched up on the hill. An ERA of 3.36. He threw 246 in the 3rd innings. Allowed 207 hits, 19 homers. He walked 92 and struck out 202. He is 25 years old in 1986, which makes him considerably older than that today. Is a ground ball pitcher, a fastball pitcher at 92. And this will be the lineup the computer selected, not me, that he will face. Marty Barrett will lead off at second. Wade Boggs will bat second and play third. Jim Rice in left will hit third. Jimmy's my hero. Dwight Evans cleans up in right. Don Baylor, the DH, will get hit probably 4 or 5 times in the 5-hole. Rich Gedman behind the plate will bat 6th. Bill Buckner will hit 7th. At first, Steve Lyons in center will bat 8th. And Spike Owen is at short and will bat 9th. Defensively for the Angels, Brian Downing in left. Gary Pettis, or Bell Biv DeVoe, one of the two, a 10 and a 7 in center. Rupert Jones is a 5 in right. Doug DeCinces an 8 at third. Dick Schofield a 7 at short. Rick Burleson was also on that team. I believe he played in the playoffs at short. Rob Wilfong is a 6 at second. Wally Joyner, a 7 at first. Bob Boone is a 10 and a 10 behind the plate. And McCaskill, an 8 on the mound with a 2 hold rating. I'm assuming that's out of 10. Marty Barrett at 286, 4 homers and 60 RBI. Pitch to Barrett as a ground ball to short. Schofield deep in the hole. Throws to first for the out. Downing a 7 and a 4 and left. And Rupert Jones is the Webster's definition of average. He is a 5 and a 5. Wade Boggs led the American League in hitting, or led the majors in hitting at 357. 47 doubles, 8 homers, and 71 RBI. Also walked 105 times. It's a pretty impressive on-base percentage, no? 1 out. McCaskill deals. Ground ball to Schofield. Second verse, same as the first, 2 out. So here's Jim Rice. Jim Ed at 324, 20 homers, and 110 RBI. So who should I play tomorrow night? Rice ready. McCaskill deals. And there's a ground ball to Joyner. Wally runs it to first, and that will retire the side. Sox go in order after 1, no score. There's Reggie Jackson. He is not a baby face in 86 as he was in that picture. 241, 18 homers, and 58 RBI. JT Dutch, how are you? Soccer returns next Tuesday. But birthday week starts with the 86 Angels and Red Sox. Reggie is ready. Clemens threw 12 pitches in the first. Struck him out. He got him on a full count fastball at the belt. So 1 out, and that's 2 for Roger. For Rupert Jones at 229, 17 homers, and 49 RBI. Clemens deals, struck him out. Good morning and good afternoon. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball looking. And the sellout crowd in Fenway's having a good time right now. Here's Doug DeCinces. What a shaggy-looking dude he is in that picture. 256, 26 homers, and 96 RBI. Pitch. Struck him out. Good night. Full count. Got the side. How about that? 94-mile-an-hour fastball. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. So I'll bring up Dwight Evans. Clemens is pretty happy about that. Dewey at 259, 26 homers, and 97 RBI. And would you believe that Dwight Evans led the American League in homers for the entire decade of the 1980s? Pitch to Dwight is a liner to third. DeCinces there, 1 out. Brings up Baylor. Don at 238 was a DH 1 year in Boston. He got a World Series ring in 87 with Minnesota. He was a DH for the Yankees in 85. It's not. Did McCaskill pitch Game 7? Yeah, Dewey. He played all 10 years, and he led the AL in 81. He was just a steady hitter. So Baylor was a DH for the Yankees in 85, for the Red Sox in 86, for the Twins in 87, so he went to a second World Series, got a ring, and I believe he was with the A's in 88 when they lost to the Dodgers. So Baylor at 238, 31 homers, and 94 RBI. Pitch to Baylor, struck him out. 1-2, swung on and missed. First from McCaskill, 2 out. for Gedman at 258, 16 homers and 65 RBI. Up the middle into center field, Pettis goes back to make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, the Angels nothing, the Red Sox nothing. So here is Bob Boone at 222, 7 homers and 49 RBI. Thing is, JT, if you replayed Game 6 and or 7 of that 86 LCS, there's no guarantee that California doesn't win it in 6. Computers aren't going to be bothered by what happened in Game 5. And the Angels had to fly across the country and just were never the same. Pitch to Boone. Struck him out! That's 5 for Clemens. And that's 5 straight for Clemens. How about that? A 1-2 cutter on the outside half. Birthday week, Lorenzo, so baseball today, baseball tomorrow night, and football on Thanksgiving night. Rob Wilfong at 219, 3 homers and 33 RBI. Pitch to Wilfong. Here's a base hit, right center field. Evans will pick it up. Wilfong is on with a double. So that brings up Gary Pettis, who looks about 12 in that picture. Gary doubled to start the game and was stranded. So Clemens, through 9 batters, 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, and 5 strikeouts. Pitch from Clemens, and there's a base hit left field. Wilfong will hold at third. Pettis is on with a single, and there's still 1 out. No, you're supposed to win the games I'm playing, not lose them, Roger. Jeez. Here's Schofield. McCaskill started in Game 6, and Candelaria started in Game 7. Angels got a 3-0 lead in the first in Game 6, and the Red Sox got it all back. Pitch to Schofield. Up the middle, Owen. I'm going to try it for 2 here. Barrett for 1, over to first, and Schofield is he? He's retired, and so the Angels don't score. They get 2 hits and leave a runner on. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, no score. So it brings up Buckner. Lyons and Owen. Buckner at 267, 18 homers and 102 RBI. My guess is we'll probably do some Washington Nationals baseball tomorrow. And tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And on Thanksgiving night, after you're stuffed full of whatever you're stuffing yourself with, we're going to replay the 1993 Classic between the Dolphins and the Cowboys. Oh, that's right. Okay. JT corrects me in my 14-year-old memory. It was 2-0 Angels after half an inning, and the Red Sox tied it and then got 5 in the 3rd. And I was a happy camper. Pitch to Buckner is a ground ball to Joyner. Takes it to the bag, 1 out. So hockey will resume on Sunday, and soccer will resume on Tuesday. But for this week, just taking kind of a holiday week here. Here's Steve Lyons, 250, a homer, and 14 RBI. The Brazilians still want a recount after what happened to them last week. You could say they got waxed. Lyons would go to the White Sox in the Tom Seaver deal. Up the middle, a base hit. So Lyons is on with a single. First hit for the Red Sox here is Spike Owen at 183. Oy, oy, oy. A homer and 10 RBI. Strat has him as an A-bunter. That's not an A-bunter rating here. So McCaskill, runner on first, 1 out, bottom of the 3rd. Throw to first, Lyons back. So do I? Let's do a hit and run. Pitch. There's a base hit up the middle, and Lyons will move to third. Owen is on with a single, and the Red Sox have runners on the corners and 1 out for Marty Barrett, who is 0 for 1. McCaskill threw 9 batters, 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, a strikeout. He's thrown 37 pitches. Marty is 0 for 1, and yes, we know Boggs led off most of the season. Actually, you know what, Mr. Aloha, if you're still with us, Dwight Evans led off the season. They started 86 in Detroit. And Dwight Evans took the first pitch from Jack Morris and homered with it. Only twice in all the years in Major League history has someone started the regular season overall with a home run. Not just in their first at-bat, but that was the first game of the season. Pitch to Barrett. There's a line drive foul right side. Somebody from Burlington, Vermont made that catch. My poor wife. So the count is 2-2 to Marty Barrett. Yep, Darryl hit 40 with the Tigers in 85. Pitch to Barrett. Gets away from Boone, and everybody moves up 90. So that's a wild pitch on a 2-2 count, and the Red Sox go up 1-0. So Owen moves to second, and the count now is full to Marty Barrett. Ball 4. McCaskill lost him. So that'll bring up Wade Boggs, who's 0 for 1. Pitch to Boggs. There's a slow roller foul, first base side, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Rice to follow. Pitch. Ground ball to short. Schofield to Wilfong for 1, over to Joyner, and it wouldn't be a Red Sox game if it wasn't a 6-4-3. However, they get a run on the wild pitch. 2 hits and no errors. We go to the 4th. 1-0 Boston. So Joyner, Downing, and Jackson to face Clemens here in the 4th. Robbie Wartburg has rejoined us as a follower. Now of 150. And we have 7 paid subs. You can attach your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime account and sub for nothing. It pays me, and you don't have to pay a dime. How about that? Pitch to Joyner. There's a ground ball to third. Boggs, long throw to first. He can run, and he beat it out. That was a bang-banger, and Boggs had to come in all the way onto the grass. And Joyner, being the kid that he is in 86, beat it out. Brings up Brian Downing, who struck out his first time up. Clemens struck out 5 in a row at one point. Ball 4. Joyner missed the last 2 games of the 86 ALCS with an infection. Oof, that's not good. Here's Reggie. He struck out his first time up. Surprised you're not a Prime member. Pitch to Reggie. Ball 4, and so Clemens has loaded the bases here in the 4th. Rupert Jones struck out his first time up. So Clemens lost him on a full count fastball. That wasn't even close. So Joyner on third, Downing on second, and Reggie on first. Pitch to Jones. Here's a line drive to Barrett. 1 out. Hit on the number. Now bring up the Sensei, who struck out. So Clemens from the stretch. Ground ball to Barrett. They might get out of this again. 0 for 1 over to Buckner, and I believe they've turned it. And much as like diamonds were Carol Channing's best friend, the double play is Roger Clemens' best friend. They get a hit and leave 2 on after 3.5. 1-0 Sox. Yeah, maybe Reggie should have stuck his hip out. Yep. Don't make Lorenzo mad, okay? Here's Rice. He's 0 for 1. McCaskill starts the inning with a base hit right center field. Pettis will grab it. Rice moves into second with a double. So Rice put that in the triangle, and the Red Sox have an insurance run on, and nobody out for Dewey, who was 0 for 1. Got him. He swung on and missed a 1-2 curve, and there's one out. Second strikeout for McCaskill. Don Baylor is 0 for 1. Hits this one in the left. Downing is there, 2 out. JB, it was a great ALCS, and as a 14-year-old kid in Vermont, that was a tremendous ALCS. Oh, yeah. And just as much as John McNamara blew the World Series, I really credit the Angels choked to Gene Mauch. Here's Gedman. He's 0 for 1. Pitch to Rich is a ground ball up the middle. Schofield by the bag over to first, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit. The Sox leave a runner on. After 4, it's still 1-0 Boston. Bob Boone struck out his first time up. Wilfong and Pettis to follow. Here in the 5th. Popped up left field, 1 out. Yeah, Mauch really, I just remember reading or watching something. It was it Downing and DeSensei pleading with Mauch not to put Donnie Moore in the game. And, you know, as a baseball fan, it does break your heart to see it because Mauch had waited so long for that moment. Going back to 64 with the Phillies. He'd gotten him into the ALCS, I believe, in 79. He was a manager in 82, I remember. Was he the manager in 79 as well? Wilfong doubled his first time up. Ground ball to short. Owen to Buckner for the out. Donnie Moore had just had a cortisone shot the day before. Wow, I didn't remember that. No, Fregosi managed in 79. Okay. And we don't need to go through the Angels' history. It just wasn't pretty. Here's Pettis. He's 2 for 2. He is singled and doubled. Clemens threw 18 batters, 74 pitches, 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Got him. He got him to swing and miss on a cutter at 91. No runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home. Boston 1, California nothing. We'll be back right after this. And so if you joined us late, here's how we got here. Steve Lyons scored on a wild pitch by Kirk McCaskill to make it 1-0 Boston in the 3rd. And then Doug DeSensei hit a double play with the bases loaded to get out of the 4th. And so that's how we got here 1-0 Boston. McCaskill 3 hits through 4. He's walked 1 and struck out 2. Clemens has struck out 6 and allowed 4 hits through 5. No, this isn't an exact lineup game. The computer picked these out. Remember Bobby Grich getting into a argument with the third base coach in Game 2. Moose Stubing sent him home, listened on the radio on the school bus on the way home from school, and Gritch was just beside himself. Buckner's 0 for 1. McCaskill deals, and there's a fly ball right center field. Pettis 1 out. Here's Lyons. Steve singled and scored on the wild pitch. Oh, wow. J.T. Dutch's dad played high school ball with Bobby at Long Beach's Wilson High. I don't know, Lorenzo. I haven't heard anything about Lasorda. I knew he was as you said, very ill and on a ventilator. He's what, 92, 93 years old? Haven't heard much of anything about that. I gave you Lyons' numbers. 1 out, here's the pitch. Here's a fly ball, left center field. Pettis makes the catch, 2 out, 93. Hopefully Tommy will pull through. I thought of you when I saw that. Yeah, me too, JT. And for a manager, I'm not sure what you would do for a tribute game. Spike Owen singled his first time up. Yep, Jamie, Gritch was one of those Hall of Good players. And we all have a few prayers for Lasorda. One of the most colorful men ever to grace the game of baseball. Got him. So McCaskill got him on a full count looking. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 6th, 1-0 Boston. Wilson High rivals to the great Long Beach Polytechnical Institute. The school with the most NFL players, or the most players in the NFL. I imagine that's historical. Or is that current? That's a pretty good reputation to have. Dick Schofield is 0 for 2. He is grounded into a double play. In the right field, Lyons will run over and make the catch, 1 out. For Wally Joyner, who's 1 for 2. Wally's got a single. Pitch from Clemens. Here's a base hit, right field. Joyner's digging for 2. The throw is not in time. Evans has a good arm, but Joyner, in his youthful exuberance, was gone all the way, and there's a 1-out double for Brian Downing, who has walked and struck out. Pitch to Downing. Got him! That's the second time he swings and misses at a 1-2 cutter. That's 7 for Roger. And that brings up Reggie Jackson, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. So 2 out. Rupert Jones on deck. There goes Joyner, and Jackson is looking on a 1-2 fastball with the knees. So Clemens now has 8, and the Angels leave a runner on. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 1-0 Boston. It'll be Barrett, Boggs, and Rice, the top 3 in the lineup here. The 86 Red Sox were not expected to do much. They did a decent 85. I think they went 500, which is better than some of the other teams in the early 80s. But Toronto and the Yankees were considered the cream of that division. Remember, the Yankees took the Blue Jays right down to the last weekend of the season in 85 before the Blue Jays pulled out their first ever playoff berth. And so the Red Sox were a decent team going into 86, but this was a better than decent effort. That's right, yeah, Detroit too. As you said, Darrell Evans hit 40. Jack Morris in the height of his career. Kirk Gibson, I think, was healthy for 86 too, wasn't he? Didn't he miss most of 85? Barrett 0 for 1 with a walk. Fly pop up right side. Wilfong 1 out. So 19 batters deep for McCaskill, 90 pitches, 5 in the third innings. 3 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Boggs is 0 for 2. And grounded into a double play. Got him! So McCaskill got him with a 3-2 in there at the knees. 2 out for Jim Rice, who has doubled. He's 1 for 2. Didn't expect this to be a 1-0 game. Pitch to Rice, ball 4. So Rice is on. 2 out for Evans, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. If you missed the sad news about Dale Lonsdale, Dale passed away over the weekend. It was our first Patreon. And so if you're looking for something new for me to watch, we did a tribute game for him. The Royals and the Phillies. And as soon as we get information on when his service will be, we will pass that along. Pitch to Evans. Ball 4. So Rice on second, Evans on first for Baylor, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. No runs, 5 hits, no errors for California. They've left 5 on. The Red Sox a run on 3 hits and no errors, and they've left 2 on. Pitch to Baylor. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Schofield will throw it to first, and that will retire the side. So the Red Sox will strand 2. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 7th. 1-0 Boston. So Jones, DeCinces, and Boone to face Clemens here in the 7th. Pitch to Jones. Line drive to Buckner. 1 out. That was pretty easy. Here's DeCinces. He is 0 for 2. He is grounded into a double play and struck out. In the left center, Lyons, 2 out. Yeah, and JT Dutch is right. To be fair, not many saw Clemens as being outstanding. You knew he was good. You didn't realize he was that good. And Bruce Hurst probably had one of the more underrated careers of the 80s. Had a great season in 86, and if you remember, he was named the MVP of the 86 World Series until the Mets came back to win. Here's Boone. Here's the pitch. It's a short. Owen over to Buckner, and that will retire the side. Stretch time. 1-0. John Kiley is so talented, he's able to play 2 songs at once on the organ. Yeah, that World Series didn't hurt so much after 2004, but it took a while to get there. And hope you all enjoyed your complimentary Fenway Frank, made and packed by the Colonial Meatpacking Company, I'm assuming somewhere out of Boston. 49 will start once the new game is out. And that should be in about a month. Clemens was expected to be great, Jamie says, in 86 is when it came together. They babied him in 85. He had a sore arm, I believe. AL East was strange. Did the Orioles get within a couple? Weaver was there for that. That was Weaver's last stand. And then they had the terrible start to 88. They brought in Frank Robinson and nearly won it in 89. They took Toronto down to the last weekend. Gedman is 0 for 2. Pitch into right. Jones, 1 out. for Buckner, who's 0 for 2. Of course, the Red Sox would have a good run, but they were never the best team in the American League. Yeah, and the Angels were the best of a very weak AL West. They won 91. I think Gedman got bothered, Jamie, by what happened in the world. I mean, they were literally one strike away. Lorenzo's calling me a pusher. It's working. And, you know, I think because of it kind of came out of the blue. Pitch to Buckner. There's a ground ball to Wilfong. Over to Joyner for the out. 2 out. Yeah, and I think Gedman took a lot too much heat. That was, in my view, that was a wild pitch in Game 6. Buckner took way too much of the blame. He shouldn't have been out there. They had the 2-run lead. They were on the same page. And, you know, the thing was Stanley, and I pick on Bob a lot, and I really shouldn't. I mean, Stanley threw the palm ball, so if it sunk, he was great. But if it didn't, he got tattooed. And kind of like a knuckler. I mean, it was very similar to the decision of Grady Little putting Wakefield out there to try to close out Game 6 or 7 of the 2003 ALCS. I mean, you just don't do that. Jamie says, I'm not sure if he was healthy. Buckner, from where he fielded it, would have beat Wilson to the bag. That's probably true. But again, if that pitch doesn't get away from Gedman, it's a moot point. That's only the tying run. Thanks for bringing this up on a birthday stream, guys. Pitch to Lyons is a ground ball to Wilfong. Over to Joyner for the out. But no, it's true. We go to the 8th. No runs, no hits, and no errors. It's 1-0 Boston. So Clemens had 98 pitches. Wilfong, Pettis, and Schofield. Clemens is allowed 5 hits through 7 and struck out 8. Wilfong is 1 for 2 with the double. Base hit, right field. Evans will cut it off, and Wilfong will hold for Pettis. So 100 pitches for Roger through 27 batters, 7 innings, 6 hits. He has walked 2 and struck out 8, and Pettis at the plate has singled and doubled. In the center, Lyons moves over, 1 out. See, that's the thing. You know, Jamie brings it up. They had a tremendous year. I was gonna, they won the pennant, or they won the division in '88 and '90. Really, with a completely different team. Of course, they had Boggs and the corpse of Jim Rice for '88 and Clemens, but they had Jody Reed at second. They got Ellis Burks, Mike Greenwell. I mean, it pretty much was a completely different team, but they were never better than Oakland, and you knew that Oakland was going to beat the snot out of them. I remember the day of Game 1 of the '86 series, I had resigned myself to the fact that if the Red Sox didn't get swept, that I'd be happy with that. There was no way they were going to beat the Mets. Absolutely no way that the '86 Sox were going to give the Mets anything. And then they win the first 2 at Shea. Here's Schofield. He's 0 for 3. He has grounded into a double play. And Jack Howell will pinch hit. Jack, looking like an 80s player. 272, 4 homers, and 21 RBI. Wilfong on first, 1 out. Pitch from Clemens. Struck him out. That's 9 for Roger. A 1-2 fastball looking. So this will be Joyner. Wally will be 2 for 3. Is 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Once we start baseball back up again, you're going to get 2 live games a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, and you'll get a taped game for the YouTube crowd. Hockey will fill the Sundays, and then soccer will go to tape only, unless there is a great groundswell to keep it going live. '88 Sox were fun, and it was a great race to win the division. Yeah, no one was beating the A's that year, except for the Dodgers. Except for Kirk Gibson. Thank Vin Scully, JT, for that. The infamous Game 1, and they're panning up and down the bench. And, Kirk Gibson isn't available tonight. He's not on the bench. And Gibby, watching the telecast from the clubhouse, says, well, a couple words that you would hear on a Fortnite stream. That. And Gibson told the clubhouse attendant, go tell Tommy I'm ready. Go tell Tommy I can get an at-bat. In all honesty, pitch to Joyner. There's a ground ball to Buckner over the bag himself, and that will retire the side. Angels strand a runner. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 1-0 Boston. And so, I don't know if Lorenzo will agree with me with this or not. It'll be Owen, Barrett, and Boggs in the bottom of the 8th. I'm not sure if Gibson doesn't do anything but homer or walk, whether they probably would have thrown him out going to first. He was that hobbled that if he didn't, he hit that home run one-handed. Dennis Eckersley never threw the backdoor slider until that one pitch. Well, Hershiser shut him down in Game 2. Yeah, no, Lorenzo agrees. And so the only two things that would have worked for Gibson were a walk and a home run. As I don't think he could have popped one down the opposite line. Yeah, I thought they were going to throw him out at first. Didn't matter. Owen, 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Up the middle, Wilfong over to first for the out. Yeah, there's no way he should have batted. Terry Forster, speaking of Dodgers, will come in to pitch. We've got ourselves a pitching change. This game coming to you from Fenway Park in Boston. Yeah, a little dinker dunk into left center probably would have been saved too. But still, hit by a pitch would have worked. Forster, 41 games in '86, 41 innings, 47 hits, 18 runs, 16 earned. He went 4-1 with 5 saves and an ERA of 3.51. Fastball pitcher, 34 years old, 86 miles an hour. With 1 out, nobody on, Marty Barrett, who's 0 for 2 with a walk, and Boggs to follow. Up the middle, a base hit. So Forster, a 2-fielder out of 10, a 5 hold rating. Wade Boggs done a couple things he didn't do a heck of a lot of in '86. He grounded into a double play and struck out. That's a parlay that you'd make some money on at Bovada. Throw to first, Barrett back. Infield guarding the lines. Pitch to Boggs. There's a ground ball to Wilfong. Burleson it for 1, and that's it. So Burleson is at shorties of 5. They do not get to double play. Boggs also very rarely popped up. He had such a good eye, he probably had as good of an eye in the Red Sox uniform as Ted Williams. Didn't eat as much chicken, and Teddy's girlfriends didn't pose for Penthouse. Jim Rice, 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Forster deals. Ball 4. So Boggs on second, Rice on first for Dwight Evans. Dewey 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Red Sox are looking for an insurance run here. I think JT is asking me if I thought Wade was a good third baseman defensively. I wouldn't put him in the Schmidt or Robinson or Nettles class by any stretch. But I think he had a reputation early in his career of not being very good, and I think he learned the position very well. He had a decent arm, and I think had good range. And so, I don't think he ever won a Gold Glove, but he wasn't alive. He wasn't Butch Hobson, let's just put it that way. Solid. I would put him as a solid third baseman. He came up as a first baseman in '83. The Red Sox must have been pretty impressed by what he could do because they let Carney Lansford go to move Boggs to third. Oh. Yep, he came up as a first baseman. He was the last out in Dave Righetti's July 4th no-hitter. Pitch to Dewey. Hits him! So Forster's day is done. Gary Lucas coming in. Gary, 4-1 with 2 saves and a 3.15 ERA. 45 2/3 innings, 45 hits, a homer. He walked 6 and struck out 31. A ground ball plus pitcher, and that fastball tops out at 85. Late season acquisition here. All right, for the first time in a while, who can hit a lefty? Yeah, Lucas was very reverse split that year. Well, this will probably be a strikeout. Tony Armas, mid-'80s, had some great years for the Red Sox. 264, 11 homers, and 58 RBI. Don't see Dave Henderson. So Armas, with 2 in scoring position, trying to give the Red Sox a 3-run lead. Lucas, an 8 hold, by the way. Pitch to Armas, bases loaded, struck out. Of course he did. Miska Muska Mouseketeer. He swung on in the mitt of Bob Boone, and there was no love letters in the sand at Fenway on that one. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. The Red Sox leave him loaded. We go to the 9th, 1-0 Boston. So Downing, Jackson, and Jones to face Clemens, and we'll try to let Clemens get the shutout. Downing 0 for 2. He has walked once and struck out twice. And Mark Ryle, no. Ground ball to third. Boggs over to first, 1 out. Yeah, Armas is who the Red Sox got for land. I think you're right. And Carney went on to have a great career in Oakland. I always called him Carnage because he would just wreak havoc at the plate. Reggie is 0 for 2. He has walked and struck out twice. There are times the Red Sox front office was competent. Lorenzo says there is a seat at Dodger Stadium that commemorates his home run. I never knew where that ball landed, by the way. Painted blue and with Gibby's signature and a marker. It sells as a pair for $300, with $200 going to his Parkinson's research. Good for them. Jackson, fly ball, center field. Lyons goes in and makes the catch, 2 out. So are the Red Sox really going to win a 1-0 game in 1986? Holy dead ball, Captain. Rupert Jones is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Rogers ready. He winds and deals. Struck him out. He got him on a 2-2 to end the ball game. And so Roger Clemens has shut out the California Angels 1-0. It nearly went halfway up the pavilion. Yeah. Of all the things in baseball, as we'll go finish this game up here, Gibson's homer really stands out as one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Maybe because it was the age. And so the 1 run stands up. A wild pitch that scored Steve Lyons. And that was it. The Red Sox, 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. No runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Angels. McCaskill, 7 1/3 innings. Tough loss. 3 hits, a run it was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Roger Clemens is our digital dice player of the game. He strikes out 10 in 9 innings and throws a 6-hit shutout. Lorenzo says seat 1 on row D in section 302 is where this seat is as close as the actual home run landing spot. And JT says if you can't score when you load the bases with nobody out, you probably don't deserve to win. It's my birthday week. Of course they don't deserve to win. Go Sox. All right, so we're going to do a 2018 Nationals game tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. We might do the Braves or the Mets. We won't do the Dodgers. I want the Nats to actually have a chance to win. Bada bing. So baseball today, baseball tomorrow. And don't forget, at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Thanksgiving night, it's the Dolphins and the Cowboys from a snowy Texas stadium. And so thank you so much. So we'll have more of these on this holiday week. Until then, I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.